Hey everyone, this is Jennifer. I am just sitting down to update some things. I wrote down a quote that was really speaking to me, and I think I need to keep this in mind as I'm planning out my week and kind of making a guide for where I need to be and the things I need to do this week. I found this on Instagram from Susie Reading. As you plan your week ahead, remember your capability and your capacity are two different things. So that's going to be in my mind as I map out this very busy week. And I don't want to hit capacity. I want to have a little bit of wiggle room. So let's go ahead and dive in to the week of October 6th. I am switching things up this week and using a Papermate Inkjoy Gel 0.7. I was at Walmart getting some groceries, and I used to use Inkjoy gels all the time. I went through like a little phase, and I don't know why, but I wanted to pick them up again. So we have that, and then we need to pick a sticker kit. Pretty sure I know which one that I'm going to use or need to use. Oh, I have the wrong binder. This is my favorites binder, not my kit binder. We'll keep this handy though, because I might need that. This is my kit binder. All right, we're not ready for Halloween yet, which leaves this harvest kit. It is MK747. We'll start with some washi as always. I will go ahead and use my favorite banner days as well. That's what these are called. So if you search banner days on the PlannerKate website, they'll pop up. So the reason for that quote was that this is cheese ball making week, and I kind of head that committee. We make hundreds of thousands of cheese balls, and of course there's lots of moving pieces, and it's kind of stressful for me, but I do enjoy doing it. But it's just gonna make the week like I need to remember I do have a limit. I need to limit what I do, or else I'm gonna be stressed and not happy at the end of the week. So let's dive into this week knowing that, you know, give yourself some grace, Jennifer. That's where we're going with this conversation, I guess. So let's go ahead and dive into the plans. I'm going to be using probably a majority of these stickers here. These are the -2, so they're made for the Erin Condren dashboard layout. This is DD5, which is a daily duo sheet, and this is DD4, which is also a daily duo sheet. So those are really like the three main sheets that I like to use in the Day Designer Weekly Flagship. If you're looking for sticker recommendations, they fit well because they're about, half the page, just like these banner days. So we'll start off with Monday. I have several meetings to start the week off with. And since that's the case, I think I'll just hand write the appointments in or the meetings that I have versus using one of the stickers, but I'll definitely be using these for other things, but we need to get work down first. So my first one is at 8:15, then at 9:15 and 10:15. And then kind of some space between those. My last one will be at 2 o'clock. No work meetings on Tuesday. And then I do have a student observation to do on Wednesday at 9. Switching over to the second half of the week, I do have 2 on Thursday. Let's see here, a 9 o'clock and a 9:30. And that is it for meetings. There are some other school things that are kind of related that are playing into this busy week, which are parent-teacher conferences, and I'm sitting in on a couple of those. So we'll label Thursdays there in the evening from 4 to 7. I'll put that on one of these dash labels. And then on Friday, I'll use the other navy blue one for those. And that'll probably be the last part of my day, so I don't need to leave any room underneath that. And we'll put Fridays up here right underneath Friday. And then we need to look at Monday. So Monday is that delivery for the cheese balls. And I'll use a half label for that up here because that doesn't have a specific time. The truck could just be there pretty much any of these times when I will be in meetings. So I'm having a sorority sister kind of cover the kitchen for delivery, but I definitely want the reminder in my planner. And then cheese ball making will be this Friday, Saturday. And I think I want to use a decorative label for that. We'll use a thinner one here. So Friday, that'll pretty much be at noon, or at noon, rephrase, at 2. And then we're gonna start early on Saturday morning to finish up the cheese ball making. And then I have a wedding Saturday evening. So we'll use one of the larger stickers for that because between those two items, that's gonna fill up my week. All right, so that's the bulk. And then I do want to add church in here, and we're gonna use just the basic labels for that. So I have small group on Wednesday, and then small group and sermon on Sunday. All right, so let me get those down. And then we'll talk about this area up here. I do have the clip art sheet, so I might want to use that. I also have this sidebar add-on. I have been using functional sheet G up here, but I might be able to make these work. Let's see what this looks like if I go here on top of that washi and then do the tracker next to that. And then maybe the full box. I don't know that I love this, but I kind of wanted to mix it up just a little bit this week. And then that would leave this to do. And now that I'm seeing this, I think that I could kind of shimmy these so they're more evenly spaced. So let me fix that real quick. I don't mind that. I did take the washi up that you see there, so I guess it's good to know that if you have like 4 full boxes, they do fit pretty nicely up here. You can see just a little bit of the lines and maybe the O on October over here, but I could white that out just with some white out real quick. And then I will leave this as a notes section. So let's go ahead and fill in these boxes. I'll start obviously with the tracker. And then for this sticker, I'll put my content in here. Monday, I plan to do finally my September plan with me. I have had it ready to go, just haven't published it. And then Thursday's video is a daily plan with me. And then this would be Saturday's video, which is week 41. And then there are just a few priorities for the week. One of those being I need to schedule an oil change for my car. So we'll go ahead and put that on this to-do list. And that's all I want to commit to. Again, with that capability and capacity, I don't want to assign myself too many tasks. So that's actually where we're going to wrap this up. It doesn't look like a lot, but like I said, I need for my mental health to kind of give myself a little bit of buffer time in between some of these days and tasks. So it is what it is. I think it's a good decision. Thank you guys for joining me as I plan out another week. And I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for being here.